back-to-back win of the Super Bowl. Our heroes, they are our hometown heroes, right? Here they are returning home with the Lombardi Trophy. Such an exciting time.
It's wheels down on this. We just saw Friends and Family's plane land about 10 minutes ago. We know that Mayor Q is out there, Kathy Nelson is out there, so there's a host of local dignitaries waiting to welcome them back. But there they are, the Kansas City Chiefs, your repeat Super Bowl champions, as they get ready to land back here in Kansas City, Missouri, and then get ready for what will be an unbelievable day on Wednesday for the parade.
Yeah, back-to-back champions. You mentioned the mayor being there, Kathy Nelson being there. The same folks who probably sent them off to Vegas.
Right, exactly.
Welcoming them back home as we continue to watch the plane before it lands at MCI. And you know, these guys have had a long night. You know, I mean,
it was an incredible.
I've read that the party didn't stop until at least 5 in the morning.
I would hope not.
I mean, but you know, they deserved every bit of celebration that carried into the wee hours as the plane just disappeared behind the building. We imagine it has landed at MCI. Eventually, we'll see it taxi. And we'll see them start to deplane.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about the longest night, not, you know, just partying, but also playing too. I mean, that was the longest game in NFL history, and we saw our guys out there. I mean, they were fighting every bit of the way. And this game, for so many reasons, was kind of a redemption for them. I mean, not only was it, you know, after that Christmas game, we thought there's no way that these guys are going to get to this point. And, you know, here they are bringing home back-to-back Super Bowl champions. It is truly awesome. All right, we want to get out to our Betsy Webster, who is right there on the tarmac. Hi, Betsy.
Hey there. So here's how it's going to go. The mayor is here. He's got those orange batons, you know, the kinds you see those official airport folks doing this to signal the plane in. That's called marshalling, and he will be marshalling the nose of the plane in a ceremonial fashion. They will have someone who's certified to do that for safety reasons participating as well. Now, typically what happens is the first person off the plane will be Coach Andy Reid carrying the Lombardi Trophy. Then the players and the rest of the coaching staff after him. We can tell you one person who is not on this plane is Patrick Mahomes. He went to Disneyland for a parade there as MVP. That has become a bit of a tradition. I'm keeping an eye behind me here. You guys tell me if the plane shows up behind me so that I can step out of the way so that you can see that. Now, there are 9 tour buses here that I counted. The players and coaching staff will be getting off, loading onto those tour buses, and then taking them out to the, I'm sorry, here, a photographer, Kimo Hood, is asking us to please widen out a little bit so that we can see more. But those tour buses will be taking the players and coaching staff over to the Arrowhead training facility. That is where they parked before leaving for Las Vegas. They will be getting back into their cars and driving off. I did chat with some limo drivers. Some of them will actually be taking limos straight home instead of stopping at the training facility, because they did have private limos dropping them off there. And I can tell you, I was over at the Arrowhead training facility last year at around this time when the players arrived. There were a handful of people that were lined up along the road there, just wanting to catch a glimpse of the players hopping into their vehicles and driving off. Some of them, you know, like you said, it's a long night. Some of them may be fatigued and they're just gonna drive on out. But some of them last year did roll their windows down, express their excitement. One of the things I enjoyed was seeing all of the vehicles. There were some pretty snazzy vehicles that some of those players were driving. I remember seeing a sports car and going, I've never seen anything like that. So, but yeah, the friends and family plane is still over there. Is there any way we can take a look at that while we're waiting for the team plane? And I'll keep my eye out here for the team plane. They have, I believe, 5 or 6 tour buses. I'm told that there was another plane with the front office staff for the Chiefs that arrived earlier. 5 planes altogether that were transporting either staff, friends and family, or the team. Just one plane for the team. The planes all arriving at different times, but all of them charter planes. Guys, we're really, I don't know exactly how this is going to go, how long it's going to take for them to get over here. Oh, and so, yes, there is the mayor, Mayor Lucas, and next to him, Kathy Nelson. Kathy Nelson, if you don't know her, she is a rock star. She is the president of the Kansas City Sports Commission and the president of the Tourism Bureau. She got that joint title when the Tourism Bureau, Visit KC, wanted her on board, and she said, well, only if I can do both, because she did not want to leave the Sports Commission. Now, she said that they spent yesterday out on the parade route. They actually did a test drive of the parade route before we even knew that the Chiefs would be Super Bowl champions. Of course, they weren't trying to jinx anything, but they got to get all their ducks in a row and make sure that things are going to go smoothly. So they have all of that prepared for tomorrow. I'd love to grab one of them to talk to them, but they did advise us today that this was a video opportunity only and that there would be no interviews taking place. So as soon as that plane comes in, we're going to let you see it. And guys back there in the studio, I'm probably going to have to rely on you to identify some of the folks because I'm far enough away, and even with my prescription glasses on, it's not as good as a zoom lens on a camera. Plus, right now, the sun is positioned in such a way that we may be seeing a silhouette of those folks getting off the plane. So if you can identify them just as an outline, that would be helpful, but you can see that the sun is going down. Perhaps when they arrive, we won't have the sun behind us, but it is growing darker, so that may be difficult to see. Though when we see someone coming off holding that Lombardi, that is most likely going to be Coach Andy Reid. This is now the third time that they have done this, stepped off a charter plane with a Lombardi trophy. Well, I should say the third time in recent years, but I'm sure it is just as exciting every time. It never becomes old hat. It's always exciting to be the world champions. Guys?
Yeah, Betsy, to pick up on what you were just saying, I think you're right. This doesn't get old for the players. It doesn't get old for Andy Reid. I mean, I was watching some of the video of him last night celebrating with some of the players, and I've never seen Andy Reid as animated and excited. I mean, he was hugging Chris Jones on the ground and
that was the best. That was the best.
I've never seen Andy Reid that excited. I mean, he is so stoic and he's usually so composed and he just stays in the moment. But last night, I think he realized, my gosh, this is the third Super Bowl in 5 years for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I can't imagine what it's been like on that plane since they loaded up in Las Vegas. I'm sure they were partying all night.
Yeah.
I'm sure most of those players haven't had a wink of sleep, and good for them. They deserve all of that. But that plane ride, we were talking to Desmond Moses last night, former linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs, and he was telling us that those plane rides after just a regular victory can be some of the most wild plane rides you'll ever imagine. I can't, and he couldn't imagine what it would be like to be a part of a Super Bowl winning team, getting on that plane and then going back to your home city.
Absolutely. I mean, 3 times, you talk about 3 times that kind of high, but also you talk about this year, and I mean, there was so much meaning behind this win. We talked a little bit about the redemption, but also for players like MVS and Coleman making that game-ending catch. And then, of course, Norma Hunt. You know, this one was for Norma. It was the first Super Bowl that she had not been at. And so this team certainly all the feels as they bring that Lombardi trophy home here to Kansas City.
Yeah, you know, and I go ahead, Betsy.
Guys, can I pop in for just
sure,
a minute?
absolutely.
So that is the plane coming in. And I do want to let you know, Kimo, can you pan off to the left for just a little bit? You can see there the mayor standing by. He's got those cones and those batons, and it looks like he's getting instructions from the guy who actually does this for a living. His batons are lit up. They're kind of having a little bit of consult as the mayor is getting ready to marshal that plane in. I will tell you that friends and family plane landed about half an hour ago, and they are still disembarking and getting onto the tour buses. So once this team plane gets in and over to where they can get off the plane. I suspect this is a process that is going to take a little while as they get onto those tour buses. Again, I see a total of 9 of them lined up, all of them looking like the same fleet of rental tour buses, though one of them is distinctly different from the others. It is in bright red. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, and Brad, before we went on the air, you mentioned a potential water salute.
Right.
And from what we see right now, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But we have the mayor directing the plane to the game.
How about that? Let's add to his list of duties.
And we obviously the mayor's not going to speak right now because he's busy, but we did hear from him earlier today, detailing, just the experience that he had in Vegas, what that meant for him and other Chiefs fans who took the trip out to Vegas. I mean, it's I know it's become a tradition for us, but I mean, he just kind of spoke to how it just was everything. And now we get to celebrate with this parade on Wednesday.
And the mayor, I mean, he has been by this team's side the entire season, every single game. You see him out there in his suit cheering on this team and getting so excited when they bring home the win. So, I mean, he is celebrating just as much with this team as well.
And how poignant is this?
Oh, there's that water salute.
Okay, here we go.
There it is.
I'm just
There's
struck
that water salute from the fire department.
as that plane goes underneath
It's
the
not,
water
do you think
salute.
that's champagne?
That would be a lot of champagne.
I don't know how much money. I mean, $1 million for a parade. We could spare a little bit for champagne coming out of the fire trucks, right?
Betsy, I think all the
pretty
champagne
sure
is on the
it's
inside of that plane.
Yeah.
We're not wasting it on the outside. I'll guarantee you there's some alcoholic beverages on the inside of that plane.
I got sprayed by a little bit of it from celebrants out on Main Street last night.
Yeah.
Got a little bit in my eyes. My phone got a little sticky. All right, there's the mayor over there. He's got his batons up, ready to go. He's got his eyes on the plane. And what's interesting is there's the real guy doing it. So that's the real guy, and there's the mayor. It's like YMCA. He's following, okay, he's following the instructions. All right, I do exactly what you do, which I'm not sure how he's doing that because his back is to the professional guys. So don't know how he gets those instructions, but there he is marshaling the plane in. That water salute has wrapped, and here they come. It's about to get a little noisy out here with the sound of the plane drawing closer, and the wind is picking up. It always gets windy out here on the airfield.
And you see the pilot fly in that Chiefs flag, the same
Yes.
scene we saw when
Yes,
they
we
landed
love that.
in Vegas. I know, Brad, you said it a moment ago, this never gets old.
No.
It is so much fun. Kansas City, I've heard this said several times in the last 24 hours, but these are the good old days right now.
Yeah.
You're living in them right now, Kansas City, to be able to, for the third time in 5 years, to welcome home your Kansas City Chiefs, a team that for years and years and years, you wondered, will they ever make it, not just to the Super Bowl, but will they ever make it to the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
And look at what they've done since Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce have come on board and turned this franchise around. Here we are. This is the pinnacle. It doesn't get any better. Well, it does get better than this on
I was
Wednesday.
gonna say it does
when
on
the
Wednesday,
parade.
yeah.
It'll get
Yeah.
better than this. But I mean, my gosh, as a fan base, we are the envy of all the NFL. And it's just so much fun to be a part of, and so much fun. You wonder. I would love to be on board this plane right now because they're in there right now fighting for their right to party.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
After
And-
plenty of partying.
Yeah, after plenty of partying. And actually, the partying will probably continue after they get off the plane, too. And, of course, on Wednesday for sure. But, Brad, you brought up a good point, which is all the other NFL cities, they probably are very envious of what we've got going here. In fact, you do see that on social media. I mean, these guys, to do it 3 times in 5 years. Patrick Mahomes, 28 years old, 3 MVPs and 3 Super Bowls under his belt. That is just amazing.
And it was a nail biter of a game
It
to
was.
watch last night. And I think Coach Reid said it best. He called it a microcosm of the season.
Yes.
They had some rough patches throughout the regular season. Then the postseason came, and they just did what needed to be done. And we ended up at Super Bowl 58, and they ended up with that trophy at the end as we start to see
There we go.
members deboard from the plane.
All right, so that's a member of the Chiefs video crew right there, getting ready to document this this momentous occasion as we wait for Coach Reed and the Lombardi Trophy.
And
There it is. There it is. Bringing it home. Coach Andy Reid.
Boy, let that sink in. That's an image. That is beautiful to everyone in Kansas City.
2 years in a row. How about that?
You know
And-
what's cool, you guys? As I'm standing here, I'm standing next to some guys who work for the airport. You guys work for the airport? What do you guys do?
I'm the deputy director, and he's the eye doctor contractor.
You're a contractor, yeah. These are the guys who are busting their butt to keep the airport in the condition it needs to be. They got an opportunity to be out here. They've got their phones out, and they are grinning from ear to ear. I heard one of them go, "Oh my God, that's so cool!" It's like Christmas for them.
It is a great experience.
What were you saying, man?
This is a great experience. This is so cool for the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl and be here to welcome them home. It is awesome.
Have you ever been here for that before?
No, ma'am, I have not. Been to the parade every year. I was here for when the Royals won the World Series, and now with the Chiefs, it's so cool. It's very cool.
I'm glad they gave you an opportunity to be out here. Yeah. All right, guys. I brought my prescription sunglasses, and then the sun went down, and I don't have my prescription glasses, so I'm going to leave it to you to identify some of these folks.
Well, and
Is
we're
that
trying to do
Chris
the same
Jones?
thing. The monitor's a.
Yeah,
Oh,
is that
Juwan
we?
Taylor?
Yeah, we think that's Juwan
Juwan
Taylor with the
Taylor.
Oakley
Ski
ski
goggles,
goggles on
yeah.
there. As we wait, trying to get an idea of who all is disembarking right now. But there they are. Those are your world champions, led by head coach Andy Reid, who carried the Lombardi. There's Travis Kelce,
there he is.
right there in the sunglasses and the hat. There, right, Chris Jones. There's Mark Donovan right in front of him. There's Mark Donovan, Chris Jones, Travis Kelce. There they are, your Super Bowl champions. What a proud moment for Kansas City.
Yeah, and you know,
Amazing.
you mentioned Chris Jones, and he was talking to our Neil Jones in the locker room last night, and Neil was asking him, last night after that win, what does this mean to you? And Chris Jones told him, it's all about the moments. These are moments, life moments that this team will never forget. This fan base will never forget. I mean, you said it earlier, Brad. We are living the dream.
We are living the dream. And I mean, what's so cool about this team is so strong that, Mahomes came out last night
That's
and
Bucker.
said,
That's
yep,
Harrison
that is
Bucker.
Harrison Bucker. Mahomes said, hey, we're not done yet. We're going to go for a three-peat. So, I mean, as we soak in this moment, I mean, the future is so bright with this team. It's so awesome.
So that's L'Jarius Sneed right in front of Harrison Butker
I
wearing
think
the
we've got
pink.
Harrison Butker.
Yep. There we
Yep.
are. Maybe Drew Tranquil. I'm not sure. I can't tell from this vantage point. There's some Chiefs players
With the
carrying their
pillow.
pillows off the plane.
Yeah. You think they
been a
use
long
it at
night.
all?
I gotta
Oh,
say,
there's a few.
I'm jealous because these guys not only get to deboard from the front of the plane, but also the back.
Right.
They don't give us
They
that
don't
luxury.
have to wait. How about that?
They get
Yeah.
they get the special treatment because they have earned it.
That's right. They're world
That is
champions,
true.
and we can't wait to celebrate them on Wednesday. So you would imagine that these guys are going to take the next 2 days and rest up after last night, and get ready for that victory parade come Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well, and you see so many of these players still wearing their Oakley
ski-
ski goggles. Thank you, because all the champagne that was
Yeah.
being sprayed around in the locker room last
Right.
night. They're still wearing them, so maybe they're still probably a little sticky from the celebration from last night, and that is so fantastic. So they're now moving from the plane onto those chartered buses that Betsy was telling us about. Those buses, there are 9 of them. They will then make their way to the sports complex, and then that's where, as Betsy told us, that's where the players have parked all their cars, or that's where they'll get picked up by their family or loved ones. But so much fun to watch this team that we have had so much fun following all year long on the road to repeat. And if you would have asked 50 Kansas City Chiefs fans in the middle of that little losing streak that they were in,
Yes.
if they thought that they would be celebrating another Chiefs Super Bowl victory, I don't think many fans would have said, "Oh yeah, I expect them to be in the Super Bowl." Yet here they are,
Right.
and they've faced all the everything that they've gone through to get here to this moment. It is so satisfying as a Kansas City Chiefs fan to see them carry that Lombardi Trophy off the plane.
It is so
and
amazing.
You know, I had the fortune to talk to one Chiefs fan who's been a fan since the 60s. Her dad introduced her to this team when she was 3 years old. And when you talk to those fans who have been with this team during the hard times and now they're living the good times, you really just, you get a sense of like relief and like joy for them at the same time, and you relish in that because you're also a part of, when I say you, I mean me, a part of that as a newer fan, you know. But you gotta love it for those fans who stuck it out for so long. I'm like, good on you guys.
Yeah,
you have to
that's true.
take time to appreciate it because you don't know if you're ever going to get back here.
Right.
So, I mean, look at the Detroit Lions. Never been to a Super Bowl. They were on the cusp of beating the 49ers in the NFC Championship game, and the Detroit Lions didn't make it to the Super Bowl. We don't know if the Chiefs. We hope that they're going to three-peat, but nothing's guaranteed, and that's why it's so important and it's so fun, Zach, to watch the fans who grew up here and have been through so much heartbreak, and to watch them then soak this in and enjoy it and appreciate it for what it is.
Well, you heard our team members, you know, Mark Paulos and Jared Kohler, who both grew up here in Kansas City, and they talked about all that heartbreak that they went through as young kids, you know, watching this team lose over and over again, but they stuck with it. And when we talked about this week leading up to Super Bowl, both of them said it was like a pinch me moment. Like they couldn't believe, you know, how successful this team has been in recent years. And there you see, you know, here are our world champions coming home right now.
Back-to-back champions.
Back-to-back, that's right.
And you know what's really special, obviously the parade on Wednesday, but the city has come up with this title for the next week, if you will. They're calling it For the Kingdom from the Heart, because we got to remember Wednesday is not just a championship parade, it's also Valentine's Day.
Right, from the heart.
So this is a love story for Kansas City.
And appropriate too that we've got Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, and you know, Love Story is Taylor's song too. And you know, that's another question. Will she show up at the parade? No one seems to be revealing that answer. It's kind of a wait and see, right?
And, you know, for true Chiefs fans, if she shows up or not, I don't think we will care, because we've been here before without her, so we're going to have a party either way.
Yes. No, she's made it fun for sure, but you know what? It doesn't matter who shows up. All that matters is just to see that Lombardi Trophy on that first bus.
That's right.
When it goes down on the parade route. I just can't wait. Kansas City has worked so hard. The Chiefs have worked so hard to get here to this point, and this is the fruits of their labor, that they're on top of the world, celebrating like no other. And there it is, the Lombardi Trophy right there on the bus as it makes its way from Las Vegas. Now it will reside forever home here in Kansas City.
And now it's going to have a mini parade as it makes its way to the Arrowhead Stadium, the training facility. But yeah, what a moment. And that parade is going to be fantastic. The city said they're spending even more money on it compared to last year. And so Kansas City, get ready for a huge celebration as we celebrate our Super Bowl champions back to back.
Well, and that's what we're doing right now. So, you know, ever since the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and even before that, we've been planning, KCTV5, we've been planning for a parade. And so our coverage starts Wednesday morning, 4:30 a.m. We're going to take that all the way through the parade. We're going to have people all along the parade route. We can't wait to bring this. If you're not one of the hundreds of thousands of people who are going to be along the parade route, another great option is to stay at home and watch from the comfort of your home. And we can't wait to bring that parade on the parade route and then into your homes on Wednesday. It's going to be a blast.
Oh yeah, it's a blast. It's one of the coolest things ever. It was one of the first things that I covered when I came to Kansas City last year. And I got to say, there is nothing that says civic pride than a victory parade like that. I mean, these Chiefs, the team, really the way that it unites this city, I mean, it just gives you goosebumps. It is the most awesome thing.
Absolutely. You know, there are 9 charter buses that will take them to the training facility, the sports complex, as you said, Brad. But Betsy, if you're joining us in the 6 o'clock hour, alluded to the fact just before 6 that some of these players have ordered limousines.
Yes.
They're not going to drive
They're
themselves
like, we're
home.
done. We're going home.
They're going to have somebody take them home so they probably can get some rest.
Yeah, well, they all, as winning members of a Super Bowl team, time. I don't have that number in front of me, but I think it's about, I think it's over $100,000. I'll have to look that up. But they all get a nice little paycheck. So if they want to get a limousine, Zach, they'll have no problem paying for that.
And
just on their Super Bowl winnings.
In this town, they'll probably get it for free.
I know, exactly.
Well, listen, the road to repeat is complete. Now, Kansas City looking ahead to the parade, which has become a bit of a tradition here. Those festivities begin Wednesday at 11 a.m. Thank you for staying with us tonight. We'll get over to our parade coverage in just a few minutes. Brad's going to leave us. It's just me and Sharon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Zach Summers.
And I'm Sharon Chen. But first, we do want to send things over to First Warn 5 meteorologist Warren Sears to get a look at what Mother Nature has planned for our parade day. Hey, Warren.
Yeah, even more eyes now on that victory parade on Wednesday. So we are really looking at a beautiful next few days, and that's going to carry us over into our Wednesday as well. If you're going to line up on the parade route early, yeah, it'll be a little chilly to start your day, likely some 30s turning to 40s. But as we get closer to that parade start around 11 o'clock, we'll be in those lower 50s already by 11 o'clock. A good deal of sunshine, especially to start the day, and then it only gets better from there. Right around noon, 54, and then we'll make a run at those upper 50s and lower 60s for highs in the afternoon. Now, if you remember back to last year, our afternoon high at the airport was 41. So we're forecasting 20 degrees warmer for this year's parade. I don't think there are too many people out there complaining about this forecast. Zach and Sharon, it sounds pretty outstanding to me.
All right, we're looking forward to it. As you just saw moments ago, the champions are back in Kansas City, and they've got the Lombardi Trophy with them.
How about that? We want to get you back out to our KCTV5's Betsy Webster. She is live at KCI. And Betsy, I understand that you've got the man with you that kind of brought the team home literally.
Yeah, I got the man who brought the team home, and I've got the woman who's going to make the parade happen. Mayor Quentin Lucas and Kathy Nelson. So, Mayor, I'm going to ask you, I saw you out there with those batons. Have you done that before?
You know what? That was a new gig for me, but as a mayor of a big city, you have to be ready to do everything, whether they're parades or landing gigantic airplanes.
And you were a quick study, because I saw you were imitating exactly what the professional was doing, yet you had your back to him. How'd you know how to do all that?
Well, you know, they gave me about a 10-second training, and, you know, you got to figure it out from there. Like, cities are complicated. This is just fun work.
All right. Well, maybe you've got a new gig after your next term expires.
Absolutely right.
You can do that. So, I mean, what is this like for you? Where were you watching this game, and what was going through your mind?
So I had the good fortune of being at Allegiant Stadium yesterday evening. It was a thriller. Almost every one of us who are Chiefs fans had a heart attack at some point during that game. It was,
and yet you lived to tell about it?
I lived to tell the day. I think all of us were resuscitated with the overtime victory. But you know what? Exciting times for Kansas City. Since I've been mayor, we've been to a lot of these. I hope it keeps on going.
All right. And Kathy, you were telling me you've done so much work yesterday with your department, your commission, preparing for this parade. Can you give me a sense of what this entails?
Well, it's hundreds of hours of work and working with the mayor and everyone at the city and the different departments. And I mean, it's just amazing to see this come together again. But yes, it's a lot of, you know, are you calling them? Do you have this lined up? Is this contract signed? Is this ready to go? And then we rehearse. So we actually prepare and practice getting ready for Wednesday.
What do people need to know? Some tips if they want to go to this parade?
Arrive early with the beautiful weather. We really think this will be a great turnout, as they always are. And then figure out a place to park before you arrive. So you can go onto the city's website, pay for your parking in advance. You'll know exactly where to park, and either whether to jump on the streetcar or to just walk to where you want to go.
So just like you practice the route, people tomorrow should take a little trip downtown and practice the route. Plus these shuttles. You know, I remember when this happened with the World Series, the shuttles were, there was a learning curve.
That's right. That was our first time. So now we've learned every time how to make this a little bit better.
And I was out there last year. I mean, there were so many of them. They were running really efficiently, and they become kind of a little mini party too.
Yes, absolutely. And the ATA does such a good job with that and preparing and getting everybody ready to go and get them to the parade. I'm cold. My face is hard to talk.
All right, one more question. I'm a retail person. Love that jacket. Show it off. Tell me where it's from.
Charlie Hustle.
Out on shelves yet?
I maybe. If not, it will be again very soon.
She's a rock star, so she gets all the things first, but you can put down a deposit for it, I'm sure.
All right, listen, thanks so much, you guys, for taking time. Brad, guys, I'm going to send it back to you in the studio. Actually, I think we're going to go straight to commercial break. We're going to commercial break.
Closed captioning brought to you by St. Luke's Mid-America